I've seen a lot of bankers, and I've seen a lot of cops. I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. I've felt a lot of women who refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fire going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money, whatever else bring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Guitar Players Planet. 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 Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way that music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the land of new. Oh, na 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 na. Seems to me that I have lost my old friend. I catch the sunset on the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. If you're afraid, you're feeling alone. But time and space can never unfold. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghost embrace cannot.
Good evening, everybody, or should I say hello? What's happening? Hey guys, good to see you guys again on AstroWorld TV. You know, I don't talk to you guys enough, but yeah. So what is that? There we go. There we go. We got some new stuff going on tonight. We got a whole bunch of garbage in the behind me. You don't want to see what's behind that, but you can smell it. But actually, you can see it. Whoops. sorry if you see the poop behind me. But yeah, so we're gonna talk a little bit about collimation. We're gonna talk a little bit about narrowband. We're gonna talk a little bit about, let's see, Eric's got an artificial star he's playing with. I'm attempting to image the Dumbbell Nebula with that new 150 PDS with the coma corrector, which I'm starting to hate rapidly. And that's it. So what you guys been up to all week?
Well, it's been really rainy, so we haven't. So this is actually the first clear night that I've had, and so I decided to take the opportunity to do some collimation on my Schmidt Cassegrain. But yeah, for the whole week, it's just been. So we had that great week of clear skies and everything. So now everything's caught up. So
yeah,
you know, sometimes you get the good with the bad.
Yeah, we had. I'm attempting. We had a lot of great weather, you and I, for what, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
and I mean, literally, it's been awesome. I'm still going through the data. I mean, I literally have probably about 40 hours worth of data over those 5 nights, and maybe 30. 30 is more like it. But oh my God, it's been incredible.
yeah. We've been pretty lucky. So if anybody has been following me when I've been working on the ASI Air 1.5 beta, what I've been working on is the video piece for Planetary. And I did a few test shots, did a couple of things, and realized that I am slightly, out of collimation, it looks like. So, like I said, so I've got everything hooked up right now. I've got an artificial star in the backyard and the 8SE pointing to it. So I'll be able to share with you guys collimation. And what I use to collimate is I have the Bob's knobs on my 8SE. And what Bob's knobs are substitutes for the hex screws or regular or Phillips head screws that come on your Schmidt Cassegrain that you use to adjust the secondary mirror. So Dan, as a matter of fact, back in the day, he had a video of
back in the day.
Yeah, you and Charlie.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm not that old, you know. What are you gonna start pulling out the 8-track?
Yeah, no kidding. Put out the VCRs and the Betamax.
Wasn't that reel to reel, was it?
But you've got a really cool video on how to collimate a Schmidt Cassegrain indoors using the Hotech Advanced ET Collimator, which is something that is slightly out of my budget right now, but eventually I will look to get one because they do fantastic, I understand, for Schmidt Cassegrains, but they also do great for other types of Cassegrain style of telescopes, such as classic Cassegrains and even Ritchie's RCs. I've heard that they can collimate. They can help with collimation in those guys, and so if
you got to be careful with the Hotech. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the Hotech, you got to be careful. Anything under 7 inches, you're not going to be able to get through the baffles. So
no,
you're not going to be able to collimate it. No matter how close you get, the return beams won't be there. With 7 1/4 up to about 14 inches, you'll be fine. After 16 inches, Hotech actually tells you to call them up for some different types of configurations. So,
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, the thing is just awesome. Literally, just make sure you're on solid footing. Don't do it on like a planked deck or anything like that where the lasers are going to bounce on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it does. Yeah, it does awesome though. It's a great tool. It's still like you said, it's very expensive. So
yeah, it's
but
about $455. They have two different models. They have a 2-inch focuser
Yep.
and a 1.25-inch focuser, and they're both the same price. But if you look on, say, OPT, HPS, or others, they're all sold out. They're that popular, is that they're completely sold out. And if you even look on the classifieds for cloudy nights, they're gone within the day. They're gone.
No,
So
they get picked up real quick.
yeah, they do, because they're just that good. So eventually, maybe for Christmas or something, I'll treat myself to something like that. But
another present for yourself that's going to end up getting you divorced.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Probably going to be like another thing. She's just going to shake her head. Like, I'm done. But no, so what I'm going to do is I am going to actually share my screen because I believe I still got it going. Yeah, I still have it going. And I'll show you through my desktop using BlueStacks and the Android emulator for the ASI Air through the BlueStacks Android emulator, what I've got going on right now. So let me share my screen here. And you should be able to see what we got going on right now.
Yeah.
Is that a sprinkled donut?
So let me know if you can see that there, Dan.
Yep, we can see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so as you can see, it looks like, so the thing about the Hubble artificial stars that I didn't know before is that you have to have quite a bit of distance between, unlike the Hotech advanced collimator, with an artificial star like this, you've got to have some distance between the artificial star and your telescope. I have this right now on my DSLR camera tripod. I got a 6-foot tripod that I have it taped to that, and it is about 70 feet away from the telescope.
You were able to get it down to focus?
Yeah. So, and basically, I was able to get it down here to this point. I had to use quite a few extension tubes. I've got an 80 millimeter, and I'm using my 224 MC on this, and I've got an 80 millimeter, and I also believe I've got a 50 millimeter, all connected to it with the, and I still had to withdraw from the 50 millimeter extension tube, because that's what the camera's directly connected into and screwed down into. I actually had to pull it out a little more slightly. So I've got to be, maybe 150 millimeter as far as back focus, just to get where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So, so as you can see, I'm thinking, and I've been looking back, you have the airy disc here. And the goal is with collimation is to have your center donut, the center of the donut, in perfectly centered.
Yep.
So it looks like I am a little low on this side. I have a little bit more
Yeah,
up here.
looks like you're a little closer, like 637.
Yeah. So I've also been playing around. There is this little application called Al's Collimation Aid. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but let me bring
No.
it up. And it's a little Java enabled application where you can set this up and you can set your luminance as far as your dimness, your center circle, your inner circle, and your outer circle, and then you can set your screws. So you have the 3 screw
So like
marks here.
ABC?
There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3, and you can move these based off of the orientation of the way you have your Schmidt-Cassegrain set up, and you can increase the size and decrease the size of the inner and outer and center circles. And this is supposed to help you in determining how far off you are.
Hey, people have got a question for you is this your Rasa or is this just a regular
This
8
is
inch?
my Next Star 8SE. This is the one that I'm going to be that I use for planetary.
Okay.
So this is the one I intend to use for planetary. So if I minimize this, you can see it's a bit low. It's a bit low down here. So what I'm going to do, because I think I should be able to use the application, the ASI Air application, while this is running, I should be able to use it also on my iPad. I think you can use it up to 2 connections. And so what I'm going to do is go outside and I'm going to, while I'm looking at my iPad, I'm going to tweak this lower screw here. Maybe a little, tweak it inward, maybe just a touch. You know, all you have to do is just nice and easy, just a little touch, maybe maybe not even a 16th of a turn. It just really depends. And then step away and take a look and see where things are. So that's what I'm going to go and do right now. So while I'm away, if you want to chat with, Jason, and we're going to check this guy out. So be right back. So
it's fun being able to test all this stuff live,
I'll keep the screen sharing going while you guys are talking.
Yeah.
Or I can stop it, whatever you guys want to do.
No, leave the screen share up so we can see what it's doing.
Let's see. So
if you want me to stop the screen sharing, I can stop the screen sharing.
Yeah, stop the screen share for now, and then we'll flip back to you when you come back.
Okay, sounds good.
So how things going for you, Dan?
And all right, so there we go. Okay, I was looking at the wrong screen. We see Jason, but we don't hear him. So
you should hear me.
Yeah, no, I don't hear you. So while Eric's going and doing collimation, one thing that I'm doing is I'm starting. There we go. I hear something.
Yeah, you should hear me hissing.
Yeah, big hit. And let's see. So I was working on something for a friend of mine's data. It's his first light of Mars, and I was kind of playing around with Auto Stacker, and I didn't like that one so much. But this is what he got, and there you go.
Right now, I see your desktop.
And
I see you
I'll
and
share
your desktop.
Yep, I'll share the screen 1 second. Share that. And there is his Mars that he was kind of playing with. Now it's a little soft, but I mean that's actually first light in the 8SE, I think.
Nice.
So I mean that's a really decent photo. That's from a friend of mine from I believe he's from Queens or Brooklyn, and so that he gave me the data. That's only the top 20% of that's only 200 frames. So that was nice. In the background, you got my project. This is what I've been working on. So part of that nice data was the North American Nebula, so I'm putting that together.
Nice.
And now, I don't know, let's see how bad this looks. I'm waiting for frame 1 to pop up in 30 seconds. And that's not mine. That can't be mine. That's ridiculous if it is. But let's see. We got 15 seconds. Oh yeah, that's a 5-minute shot. That's the first 5-minute shot.
I wonder why it was so different here than it was in.
Because of the yellow hands.
Oh, well, that will make a big difference.
Yeah. So let's see, and that's a 2-minute shot. That's not bad with a 2-minute shot. I'll take that. I got to do flats with the scope though. But if you take a look at, let's see what the corners look like. Yeah, you're starting to see it.
A little bit. Not as bad as it was on the earlier shot we looked at.
Yeah, but that's a 2-minute shot too. So.
Yeah.
But
this is a 5-minute shot. It'd be even more pronounced, right?
Well, the 5-minute shot, which we just saw. Let's see, the 5-minute shot. We open it up, open image.
But that's without the Ellen Hands in it.
No, they're both with Ellen Hands.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're both with Ellen Hands. So the first one was a 5-minute. Let's see, desktop. Where is it? So this one here is with the Ellen Hands at 5 minutes. So that's a 5-minute shot. And you're starting to see the eggs. All that. But that's, I got to fool around with the coma corrector and see what's up. But look at that. Look at the detail on this. That's going to be cool.
It's getting some really good detail.
Yep.
You said that's the QHY...
That's the QHY 163 color.
Nice.
So with the Ellen Hands. So even if I crop it here, and do a nice flat, because I see a lot of light here.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be fine. What do we got as far as... Yep. Stop sharing. Guiding's not so bad. Let me get back to the show here. No. So that's what I've been working on over the past, I've been trying to get the stuff done. So the questions, Tarek, you're such a wise guy.
Mark was asking what scope you're using.
That is the 150 PDS from Europe. I couldn't get it here. It is yes, Tarek, it's a 163 color. We'll see what happens. It's my first time using a color camera since I moved from DSLR probably about 10 years ago. So I'm playing around with it a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what it goes like. I have a feeling I'll probably end up selling this scope to get a refractor because I'll just get a long refractor. I can't deal with coma correctors. Can't do it.
All this work to get it going.
I'm already frustrated. Already. I am a simple man. The more simply I can make this, the better the more I enjoy it. So if I can get like a William Optics, like a 130,
Mm-hmm.
or a little bit over 100. What do they do? A 102?
Yeah, I'm at a 102. But
Yeah.
even like the 127 would be a good one, or 130. You know, if your pockets are deep, you could look into the 150, I think it is.
That's too big for me. I can't do that. Yeah. So Tarek's asking. Yeah. So it's a 150 PDS from Skywatcher. I was able to grab that. I guess about 6 months ago, and I'm just finally getting out now. If it's color wise mono on the screen, I think that has something to do with the debayering and the L enhance. If I pull it in, let's see if I pull it in, let's see. I'll play around with it a little while on the show with you guys. But I don't have. Let's see, process all processes. I don't think it's going to let me do one, but I believe it has to do with that because it's a color filter array, and it's kind of like a raw image. It's a raw image in PixInsight until you debayer it. I think that's one of the reasons. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jason.
Well, Mark's saying the same thing. It's basically in SGP. You won't see color until you debayer. When you pull it into PixInsight, it should allow you to debayer and look at it on the stretched image with color.
Yeah, so if I sit there and I kind of run it through either WBPP really quick,
yep.
You know, I'll get it'll know it's a color filter array. It'll do the RGB debayering, and then you'll get you'll start seeing the color image.
Okay, we hear you there.
Can you hear me?
Well, yep, Tarek, what I'm doing now is
cool.
I can't hear, but Tarek is
guy, and then
I'm actually doing I'm just doing 2-minute shots with the L enhance of 27 right now. So if you want, Tarek, I'll be more than happy to share the data with you. Just if you want on the side, either throw me your email and I'll throw you a link to the folder.
All right. All right. So let me share my screen.
Here we go.
So let me share my screen again, and let me you guys tell me what you guys think. So that was, so you saw before. So I'll share my screen here, and
still have you up, Eric.
Huh?
We still have you up.
Do you still?
No,
I still see your camera. I'm not seeing your screen yet.
You don't see my screen yet?
I don't have a video either.
Okay, let me share again. Okay, here we go.
There you go.
Still might need to do some more tweaking.
It's getting closer though.
But it's getting closer.
Can you rack in the focus a little bit?
Say what?
Can you rack in the focus a little bit? You know, as you get more into focus, you may start to see little differences of your collimation.
Okay, so you think I should bring it into focus a little bit more now?
Well, there it looks good, but as you get into when at least when I collimate and when I look at it, as I get closer to the end, I'll make minor adjustments at the end to make sure that it's still in focus when I'm tighter focus. Now that could just be me being a freak, but I haven't done. Honestly, I haven't done SCT collimation in a long time because I haven't had an SCT in a long time.
Right.
But honestly, right now, the way it looks good to me. I would probably rack it in a little bit, like halfway, and look at it again and see if it shifted a little bit.
Right. Okay.
And then after that, you should be good.
Okay. Let me stop sharing here.
No, you're gonna lose a lot of weight tonight, man. You're gonna run back and forth.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's see.
All right. Let me reel it in a second. Hold on. Yep, I'm getting my steps in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do 2 hours of this, and then I'm gonna do some flats. I hope my flat panel is big enough.
It should be. Didn't you
I didn't
get
even think about
the
that.
12-inch?
No. This is it's 8-inch.
Oh, you should be fine.
It's a Lasanta.
The 150 is 8, right?
Yeah, it's 6.
6. So you're
6.
fine.
Yeah. So, well, it's 6 plus the outside tube. So I don't know. We'll see. I think I should be okay though.
Well, you'll be fine.
And why? I'm back and forth between 2 computers, so. And we got a bunch of stuff going on here. Tarek, I want your RGB only, not your multi-band filters. Well, sorry, Tarek, I can't help you. I'm just doing it all in hands tonight because I got a full moon.
Yeah,
I already have.
We did a test shot before, and it was all white at 5 minutes. So we just
Yeah,
had to put
it
a
was
narrowband
horrible,
filter
dude.
in so we could shoot.
How do I collimate your 150 PDS? I did collimate the 150. I have a Howie Glatter 2-inch collimator that I've had for a long time that I use with all my Dobsonians. So I was able to collimate with that. Unfortunately, I didn't put Bob's knobs on it yet. I totally forgot like a moron. So I was outside with an Allen wrench. But other than that, I mean, it's not perfect because I really want to switch out those Allen keys. All of a sudden they creak on you and they're not very smooth. So I'm gonna probably get the Bob's knobs tomorrow. Then I'll probably end up selling the scope.
Yeah, but it'll be a value add, right?
I'm telling you, I'll give it to Jeff to sell, and that, and I'll give him back the coma correctors worth more in the scope. I got the what do I got? I got the Sharp Star one.
Okay.
So I got the Sharp Star that I got the Allen hands in there. I got what else? What else? I got the 163, which is worth. I mean, that scope was dirt cheap. It was like $300.
Yeah, but you put another 800 into it.
Yeah, like 1,000 into it. So, but yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna go back to a refractor. I think it's so much more easier. Even though you got to buy a nice focuser and all that kind. But I got the EAF, so I can throw that on there.
Yeah. Yeah, after being away now for 3, going on 4 weeks, and getting ready for another 2 yet to go,
Yep.
I'm itching to get back and start playing.
Yeah, we got some good weather coming up. I think. Let's see. For you guys that don't know this app, I'll show it to you. Windy. No, it's clear outside. Sorry. Of course, it's not going to work on here. There we go. Okay, so clear outside. This is something that's also available for an app. And if I put up my forecast, okay, and there we go. So that's tonight. So nice all night. And then you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Friday night, Saturday night, Friday night into Saturday night is nice. And Sunday looks good. So not bad. Looking good.
was just doing that here for my parents' house. You know, they're a Bortle 8,
Yeah.
like Mark is.
Yeah.
But it's not looking good for the most of the next couple of days here.
Yeah. I mean, tonight looks good, but then it looks like Friday and Saturday look decent for us. And then you got clear dark sky too. Your title is confusing. What do you mean by false one-shot color? That's something that Eric did a video on. It's kind of like narrow band, kind of splitting things up a little bit. He's going to talk about that a little later.
Yeah, it's basically going to take and use the OSC and process in multi-narrow bands, and then you rebuild it as if you'd done initial mono multi-band imaging.
Let's see, Custer Institute. There we go. So for those of you that don't know, this is clear dark sky. This is something that's very similar to clear outside. And it only gives you. They actually added another day to this. It was only 2 days, 2.5 days. They just added a third day. So Friday night looks decent, and believe it or not, if you look at clear outside, Saturday night looks decent too. So I got. Unfortunately, I'm teaching those 2 nights, so I'm going to be kind of.
You know, one of the things that I really like about both of these apps, because I run the Clear Outside on my iPhone, is the fact it shows you when the moon's out, so you can kind of correlate how much moon saturation you have and how long of a window you have for dark, to help better determine what your best chances are, whether you're going to end up using a narrowband filter or... So I was going to take and show, you know, this is here at my parents' house.
Yeah.
So there's their screen. If I go over, you should see. So, you know, a little bit of a chance here tomorrow night is looking decent after about midnight, starting about 2 a.m.
Yep.
So a narrow window, but then red.
I see some clouds and rain coming.
Yep. Well, and I got to fly back to Phoenix on Saturday, come back Sunday, and then work through Thursday. So I'll be.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's. Thank God, business is busy.
Yeah, no, I get this. There's a lot of traveling.
Yeah, it's getting back into what I'm used to, not necessarily flying home to fly back to the same city, but it works out better for billing because it's different clients, so it makes sense. And my poor wife needs help getting everything home with bringing our daughter with us.
All right, guys.
Yep. Eric's back.
Yep. Here, Eric.
Yep.
We still see your screen share.
Yep.
Right.
So let's take a look.
There's you.
There's me.
There we go.
We'll go back to Eric.
That's looking good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we might have it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I
So,
think
good to me.
Huh?
That looks pretty good, darn good to me.
Yeah. So, you know, so taking your advice, Dan, moving it in a bit, moving it a bit more into focus, and then looking more at your airy disk and the center here.
Yep.
You want to try to get, you want to get this as center as possible. That donut, the center of that nut. But no, I think I may be in good shape.
Hey, you got some really good tracking going too.
Well, I've got it on the Alt-Az mount, and there's nothing running.
I'm joking, man. You're on a tripod, bro.
So, that's true.
The stars aren't going to move.
The stars aren't going to move on an artificial star, Eric. Hello. Yeah, that's my. Sorry, that was my Bueller moment. That was my Homer moment. No, so I'll tell you, the Bob's Knobs makes collimation a heck of a lot easier than going and using a Phillips head and taking a risk of slipping with that screwdriver and possibly scratching your optics
or Allen key or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So no, it's I'll go ahead and stop this now, and I think I'll be in good shape. So hopefully, I'll go ahead and stop the ASI error, minimize everything. But hopefully, I will be ready to for opposition. I hope, or whenever I can.
Yeah.
So.
I gotta try that with my Mac. I gotta do my Mac this weekend.
Let's see. Am I?
Right now, I still see your screen share. There you go.
There you go.
And let me kill that.
Yeah, so opposition, you got about 3 weeks. And then Mars will start getting smaller again, and we'll say goodbye to it for another 18 months. So,
and I just got the ADC. Hold on for a second.
Yep. Yeah, so the ADC is actually really cool. It's a dispersion. So it kind of folds around with some prisms, if I remember right, to get rid of the atmosphere. It's called an atmospheric dispersion corrector from ZWO. It costs about $150, and and it's supposed to give you it's supposed to tighten up the seeing a little bit to kind of correct for the atmosphere. So for those of you that do planetary, that you're doing video and you're doing kind of trying to get through the atmosphere, and everything's all wavy, and it's kind of like watching a hot sidewalk, a hot pavement in the summertime with all the heat waves bouncing off it. But this kind of helps a lot. I actually have one up there, and Eric's going to bring his out right now, I think. Maybe not. Nope. See ya. And
yeah,
so actually I have mine in my lovely cabinet right here. So what it does is, I got it right here. This isn't the atmosphere, this isn't the whole thing, but just this guy right here. I'll take it off. This is my teleview. Okay, so this guy is the ADC, and it's got 2 levers that move back and forth, and you got a 0 point. So you want to move the levers equal distance away from the center. As it gets clearer, then you stop. That's at least the theory behind it. And it moves the prisms and the elements back and forth. You can only go a certain distance. You can't go all the way around the circle, but that's it. And then you had your Barlow, and now you're good for opposition if you can get it on there. I don't know. I think I broke it. The hell, man. There we go. And that's my 2 innings. You were too slow. I had to get mine, man.
Yeah, Dan went and got his and explained it.
Yeah. Here's my if you want to do this type of testing, here's the
that's the Hubble,
the Hubble.
Yep.
And if I can move it away a little bit, you see there's like
5 of them.
Artificial
5 points.
stars.
Yep,
5 points. And usually I think the larger one is what I used. Unfortunately, when I was going to get it and I was walking away, there's a flimsy little magnet that's on this thing to shield the other the other four stars. And I think it fell in my yard. So what I'm probably going to end up having to do is just use like electrical tape and just cover it up, kind of like that.
Yeah, just don't cover out the star.
Yeah, so it'll at least let me get the star. So I think you guys can be able to see the star here.
Yep, we can see it.
So yeah. What I was reading with the ADCs was that they were really important for if you have a color planetary camera.
Yes.
So here's mine, and you guys already saw Dan's. So So I'm looking forward to trying this out. It's just I'm going to be learning how to work it, and they say it's really good, especially if you're at the horizon. If you're doing planetary toward the horizon, it's really you have that atmospheric disturbance. It's really helpful for when you're imaging at the horizon, but it's just as good when you're 50 degrees up. So.
Yep. Oh, we'll see. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I've been working since 5:30, so I'm exhausted. But yeah, I've had the ADC as well for a long time, and it's going to go on this guy for opposition. This guy I've been threatening to use for a while.
Is that a Mac?
That is a Mac.
So
it's a 127.
Yep.
Yeah.
127.
Yeah. So I've had this for about 2 years now. I've never even gotten first light out of it. So.
Oh wow.
So I think this one is going to be the one. This Mars opposition is going to be the one where I'm going to kind of get it rolling.
Okay. I have downstairs. I've got a 102 Mac.
Nice.
That I have downstairs that it came with. It was one of the Astrophi. I don't know if you heard of the Celestron Astrophi.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was one of those that I got for the kids for Christmas about 3 or 4 years ago, before I got my 8SE.
Yeah, and like Bluetooth. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth enabled, and all that stuff. As far as the mount and everything, it's all like Wi-Fi enabled. But I was thinking about using the 102, but I don't know. But I'm actually just going to go ahead and use the 8SD. The cool thing about the Macs is that you don't have to collimate them.
Yeah, you don't have to collimate them. You do deal with some mirror issues because of the focuser, especially with the 127s are shorter. There's no way to kind of use a rear self focuser on it. So you do deal with that mirror pushing in and out. But you got a nice little slow scope for planetary. So I think this one's f12.5. I think native. So with the 2x Barlow, I'm at 25.
Yep.
And where is
this? I think the little Mac that I have is like an f13 or 15, something like that. So with the Barlow, I'm at f30.
12.1. Yeah, so 12.1. And I got a 2.5 Barlow. So.
Okay. I've got. I'm going to be returning because I thought I had this bright idea to use my 126 millimeter refractor for planetary.
Yeah.
If I used a 5 power StarMate. And
what the power?
Yeah, it's not gonna. It's you're not going to get it in focus. I mean, you're not going to get the planets in focus. You're just going to be looking at a massive blob.
Yeah.
So I'm returning that, and I've got a Luminos, a Celestron Luminos, 2.5-inch Barlow, 2.5
Oh, okay.
times. It's a 2-inch Barlow, but it
Okay.
has the 1/4-inch adapter that came with it.
Sure.
So I'll be using that, and it's just a matter of me figuring out the back focus. The back focus has always been is the one thing. When I was doing the test with last week, I was using an 80 millimeter spacer, and it seemed to work. So I'll just have to play around with it and tweak it a little bit and see what we get.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we got a couple of questions here. Mark wants to know if that's a ZWO ADC. Yes, they were both the ZWOs. How much of a pain is it to add a Crayford focuser to an SCT? It's really not. It's really not a pain in the butt. I mean, you sit there and you can get like a nice feather touch. An actual, if you're looking to take a Crayford like a Skywatch or something, I wouldn't suggest it. But I mean, if you get like Moonlight makes an SCT focuser. Feather makes an SCT focuser. A lot of people make SCT focusers for bigger than for 8 inches or bigger. I don't think they make it for 6 inches. If they do, it's special order. But I'm telling you, I know a lot. I would rather a rear cell focuser on an SCT. You lock that mirror down and it don't move, and now you just got the focuser on the back rear cell. No mirror flop. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Well, maybe that'll be something when I get better at learning planetary. Eventually, maybe I'll look at a 9.25 or an 11 someday. But right now, the 8 it's my train. These are my training wheels, basically. The 8's my train is basically what I'm going to learn and make mistakes off of. Before I make any type of investment for any other type of a Schmidt Cassegrain, because I would love to be able to do both deep sky and planetary, especially when you got planets now that like Mars in opposition, and then when you eventually have Jupiter and Saturn in opposition. Those are the best times to image them. So I want to at least try. And give it a go. So I know Tarek, he's really good at planetary.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
He is really good at planetary. I've seen some of his pictures, and there's a few others. I was actually watching a YouTube video just yesterday from Damian Peach.
Yep.
Who is really good. He's pretty.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. So, but me right now, I don't think I'm going to invest in like any type of a feather touch or anything like that. Maybe, I don't know. I am going to actually, I know they sell, I've actually, no, I take that back. I've got the Micro Touch focuser on the 8SE right now. It's the stock with the micro and with the micro feather touch. So I've got that on there now. But what I want to do is eventually I ordered another F, but I want to get a bracket for the feather, because they sell them for the micro feather touch for the EAF.
Okay.
And they usually, because I've seen it because TJ has one. TJ Conley.
Yep.
He was the first one. He had the prototype, or that he has, or really close to it. So then now they're out there on the market. They're only like $30. So I'm going to grab one. So that way I have the option of hooking up my EAF, my ZWO EAF. And that way I can really, tighten up the focus. And because right now the Feather Touch is, having that nice, micro focus is great, but I know having it all automated using an automatic focuser is going to make it even better.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Now I'm doing telescope shopping. I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go because all of a sudden we got a whole bunch of comments here. Feather Touch better, more expensive. Moonlight, a brand or a type? Why are they so special? Moonlight's a brand, just like Feather Touch. Again, there's like I guess a Coke and Pepsi argument for either one. Feather Touch, you will be spending a little bit more, like Tarek said earlier. I personally like Moonlight. I like Ron. I like his. I like his customer service. I think he's top notch. But Feather Touch is really good too. I have a Feather Touch on my Dobsonian. It's not a automatic, but it's an awesome focuser as well. You'll just spend a little bit more.
Yeah.
What else? Would a 4x power mate be too much for planetary?
Scope you're using?
No, I don't think it wouldn't be. I don't think it would be too much. It depends. Yeah, it really depends on what native f-stop you're starting with. I mean, if you're starting with an f15, shooting at f60 may be too much. It really depends on that. I mean, Tarek would probably be the foremost guy right now on there. And he just said, no, in fact, I have a 5X. I didn't test it yet, but it can work. And again, if you're using, an 80 or something like that, maybe that would work. I don't know. But
I still got a 5X. I don't know now, because help me understand this. If I put a 5X on there, now I'm at F50.
Yeah, exactly. If I use a 5X on this, I'm at F60.5.
So for me, that's for my 8SC. That it's I can't use it. But I was actually, like I said, I was thinking about using it for the 126 millimeter refractor. And Sky Safari, you're looking at Sky Safari, and it looks like it's going to be really good. The field of view. But when you look at the F, when you try it, and if you calculate the magnification and everything of because of your aperture and all that, it just, I don't think it's going to work. So I'm just not even going to bother and try.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you might dim it out, and I think it's going to be too much of a pain in the butt to keep it in the field of view if you're not tracking well. So
yeah, yep. Exactly. And I'm not, and with the 8SC, and I'm having it on the alt-az mount, I'm not going to be guide. You don't guide, for planetary. No. So I just have to track, I'll be tracking, I guess, in lunar. I guess that's the setting for planetaries to do lunar. Is that correct?
I mean, honestly, I just keep it on sidereal. And even though it's a little off, I mean, it's a little off. It's going to be off. Some of them even have a planetary tracking mode, and I don't. I wish I did. But lunar, I think it's going to be too fast, and sidereal too slow. So
yeah,
So
I'm gonna, because I was looking. I was at. For my 126, it's an F7, so I was going to be, for that 5X, I was going to be at what, F35?
That might be okay. Especially
theory,
for Jupiter.
I don't know.
Siri knows many things.
Shut up, Siri. Siri knows many things. shut up. But F-35, who knows? But I don't think it'll. Tarek is saying like for F7, an F definitely 4X. So for that my refractor, being at F7, maybe F-35 is a bit much. Maybe it's more. If I go down to a 4X and I'm at F28,
yeah, if you go to 4X,
then
I think at 28 you'll be good.
yeah.
Mark was thinking of the 4X for my 120, which would bring it F28. I think that would be fine.
Yeah.
Correct. If I have F4, F5 scopes, then 4 or 5 both can work. For F7, definitely 4X. He has an 8-inch F5, so even with the 5X, he's at F25.
Yep.
Is that true that RCs are lousy scopes for planetary?
That's what I was telling Mark. Everything I've read is that they're not built for planetary. These are more intended for deep sky.
Yeah.
They're more for deep sky.
Tarek's like the man with the planetary. He's just shooting out F numbers all over the place. Good. That's a good point, Tarek. Yeah, the RC does have a larger central obstruction. So it's definitely better for DSO as opposed to planetary.
Yeah.
Let's see how
one thing. The one thing, and Mark and I, we chat every once in a while about because he's planning on getting an RC. I don't know, Mark. Let me know if you pulled the trigger on that. That tube, or if you decided to go truss or not. But we've been talking, and the only thing that concerns me is, and because you hear horror stories sometimes, and this is not to deter Mark from it, because I'm sure it'll be fine when you figure it out. It's just been collimation, just learning collimation.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to see. You know what? This isn't bad. I mean, if I do a decent flat on this, I think I'm going to be okay. I mean, I'm taking a bunch of 2-minute shots just for the hell of it.
Okay.
And I'll show it to you real quick. And let's see if I can get back to. There we go.
Now, I know we talked before the show that there was maybe some interest in showing one-shot color narrowband or something like that.
Yeah, I had a bunch of questions offline regarding how you did it and if you could show real quick tonight. So I don't want to put you on the spot. But
hello, shark boy.
There you go. That's what I got going on now.
Oh, nice. So you're doing the dumbbell. Okay.
I just tried to do the dumbbell. I mean, I've done it before, but you know what? I've never used an Allen Hands. I've never used this telescope. I've never used a coma corrector. I've never used anything. So it's all like totally new. It's unfortunate that I got to get the spacing down, I guess, because if you kind of, then it's not that bad, but you can start to see.
It doesn't look that bad. You got a little bit of elongation, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. You see it more on this side, I think. There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
That might be a tilt issue somewhere. But but in the center looks good. I mean, so even if I crop it to this, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean?
Crop it in. You just like that, I think you'd be good.
Yeah. And this is the first time using Allen Hands, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And tracking looks pretty good.
Yeah, you look like you got some 0.32 total. Yeah, you look like you're doing some good guiding there, man.
Yep. Not bad. I love this mount. This mount kicked ass from day one. So let's see. How do I go back now? And I think I got to reconnect. There you go.
Oh, okay. Mark is saying one of my clients is also in Astro. He suggests a carbon tube for the area you guys live in. Yeah, I'm being over there in Arizona, so dust. What about getting a shroud? You might. I don't know if a light shroud may help with also deterring the dust, but
Yeah, maybe.
maybe.
Well, I think his bigger point was not so much the dust as it was the fact of light pollution and whatnot, and having the truss style is going to create a ton more dust with the exposed mirrors. So it'll be a
Yeah.
lot harder to clean, so you're going to have to spend a lot more
Yeah,
time.
it would be harder to clean. So no, that's a good point. That is a good point.
So I think that's why he's looking more at the carbon fiber tube, because it's going to give him a better overall quality and less apt for cleaning on a regular basis.
That's no, and it's a valid point there, because you really have to take in consideration, your location and the things you have to deal with, your climate and dealing with dust, being out there in the desert and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I would. Then if that was the case, then I would totally go for a tube. That would make total sense.
I think that's why he's kind of vacillating back and forth between the RCs and the SCTs, and whether or not it's going to be beneficial for planetary.
Yeah, if you're thinking of planetary, then you want to look at, longer, larger f-stops, bigger aperture, things like that. So you want to look at like Schmidt-Cassegrains and Max. I don't know if you guys have. I'm sure some of you guys have seen like Ray's Astrophotography, and he has, I believe, he has an F. He's got a 14-inch, but he's got the 14-inch, and he's got the Hyperstar with it. But he also does, so he mixes it around. So so a lot of, like I mentioned, Damien Peach, he uses like a 14-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain for all, that's his primary scope for all of his planetary, because that's what he primarily focuses on, is planetary.
Right.
So if you're doing planetary, then you really want to start considering a Schmidt-Cassegrain or something along those lines. You want a larger aperture, stuff like that. So you want that bigger scope to get that better magnification.
Yeah, so now I'm going back and forth between a 127 and a 9 1/4 Schmidt. So,
like I said, I mean, I've been bound, now that I'm learning a bit more, that's why one reason I love this hobby is I keep learning stuff. It keeps my mind working.
Yep.
But it's expensive though.
Yeah. Yep.
But but eventually, I could decide, I may go Schmidt for stick with Schmidt for planetary, of course, and I still may get an RC, and look to move away a bit from refractors and stuff, and going more of the Cassegrain styles and the Richie Creations and stuff like that. So who knows?
Yeah, I really love the simplicity of refractors. I really do. It's just, and the clarity of refractors, the stuff you don't have to deal with. Don't get me wrong. There's stuff that you have to deal with. You got to deal with curvature. You got to deal with tilt a little bit more. You got to deal with certain things, but everything's a trade-off. You got longer focal length. Now you're dealing with a mirror flop, maybe, if you don't have the locks on your mirrors. You're dealing with cooling on Schmidt-Cassegrain that takes forever. The refractors take a little bit less, but it's just I just love the simplicity of a refractor. So I think I think I may just be looking for like somewhere in the 1,000 range, back to the 127-ish. Somewhere in the $2,500 range, maybe 3,000. But I think that's where I'm going to end up going because right now I'm at 400. So if I go back to the 127, 130, I think that's the last thing I'll have to do forever. They'll be fine.
You say that like you mean it.
Yeah.
I says Dan says that like he means it.
I'm done with I have to deal with this coma corrector for like the past 4 hours. I don't want to deal with coma. Put a field flattener in, get the 55 millimeters, and you're done. yeah, that's it.
And that's why I'm looking at like a Ritchie, because you don't deal with coma. Yep. You get a reducer, like a 0.6 reducer, and all you got to deal with really is the biggest thing you deal with a Ritchie is collimation and keeping it collimated. The biggest thing you deal with is collimation and keeping it collimated. But I think once I start doing it and I do it a handful of times, I'm going to get better at it. Because because I've seen all these YouTube videos with people who have RCs and they have the truss models. And sometimes one of the things they do is they also replace, they don't keep the stock focuser. They replace the focuser probably at the same time as they get the scope. They get like a new focuser, like a 3-inch or a 3.5-inch focuser or something like that, but an upgrade and not the stock when it comes with it. And you've got to collimate that, right off the bat. You've got to align it and you've got to collimate it if you're going to get a brand new focuser for those Ritchies, the truss types especially. But it's the truss. They're supposed to be easier to collimate because they're open. And you don't have to deal with the baffles that are inside with the tubes. Because when there's a YouTube video that I saw of a gentleman who I believe he has an 8-inch RC and it's in the tube, but he has to pull the back end out where the primary is and remove the baffle in order to then go ahead is collimation, because you got to collimate both your primary and your secondary. So that's one of the things you just have to keep in consideration is just the collimation. But nothing worth doing is going to be necessarily easy. So
no,
I mean, you got to do what you got to do if you really want the reward. You've got to put the work in.
Yeah, yes, you do. And that goes from image acquisition to processing. I mean, it just doesn't end.
Yeah. Because I know one thing I do enjoy is the deep sky shots, but I would love, I want to get a Ritchie. I want to get I want to get a longer focal length because I really want to get into the clouds. I really want to see more of instead of just the outer, and just the outline and everything like that. I want to go deeper in and see actually the gases and stuff like that. And really, how everything is, just there. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just, I love doing this stuff. I think it's probably the best hobby in the world because George Lutz said, go 150 a spree, not going 150 a spree. Come on, man.
No,
that's crazy. That's crazy. How much is a 150 spree? I don't even want to know how much a 150 spree is. It's got to be like $6,000.
Yeah, for 150
manufacturer.
Yeah.
How much?
I'd say it's probably pushing about 6 to 8.
It says no longer available. All right, B&H don't sell them. Let's see, 150 spree, $63.99.
No,
it's a little much. Sorry, George, it's backordered, just like the rest of the telescopes in the world. They're all backordered.
Yep.
That's
quite all right.
There you go. 120 is more like my speed. That's the 3100. I think I could deal with that. That might not be a bad idea. the 120.
Well, the 120 Esprit is what Mark has, and he's been pretty happy with his.
Yep. That puts me up to 840 focal length, which is fine.
And I've got, because like I said, I've got my 126, my William Optics 126. It's a doublet, but I get 980 focal length, and it was about just around 2300.
What is that? The Zenith Star, right?
Yeah, the Zenith Star 126. Yep.
Let's see. So yeah, right now. Yep. Yeah, f7.7.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I really like that Zenith Star 126.
But it's a doublet, right?
It is a doublet, but like I said, I've had really good success with it.
It comes with a 3-inch focuser too. That's nice.
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. It does come with a 3-inch focuser.
That's nice. Let's see. But remember, seeing is a real factor here. Well said, Eric. They're about $7,000. I love my 127 FCD 100. You know what? I had the 127 from Explore Scientific, but I bought it when it first came out, so there was no such thing as FCD 1. I think it was an FCD 1.
Okay.
And I loved it. I thought it was great. It was a triplet. It was an entry level triplet for, I want to say it was like $1,500. And it was great going in, but you know what? I wanted better glass, so I went with the 80 Esprit, and I love it. The 120 Esprit might be good for me. I think I like that idea, so
There you go, Dan.
I might just stick with that watcher.
Here's the Explore Scientific ED 127 triplet, f7.5. It's only $3,000.
Yeah, and this is what this is the scope that Chuck Ayub uses.
Yeah, and that's going to put you at 952 millimeter.
Yeah, I had the 127. It was the same focal length. So I actually used that to totally screw up my imaging of the solar eclipse. So you know, but you know, it's a great scope. It's a great scope, and you know, for what you pay for it, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, that's the FCD 100. I think you're saying with the what was it, $3,000?
No, that's the what does it have?
Carbon fiber.
Oh no, it is the FCD 100 carbon fiber. Yep.
Yeah, it's a carbon fiber.
Yep, there. Yeah, I think it weighs like 12 pounds. I think it's light as hell.
Let's see.
Somebody's saying that William Optics is coming out with a new refractor with a quad.
Yep, they are. They're doing several quads that they're coming out with that I've heard about. It's almost like a new cat series, new cat that they're bringing out.
Are they gonna bring them out?
Yeah, I heard what he did was he stopped production on the Space Cat and what was the other one? Not the Red Cat. The other, was there a third one?
Well, there's Red Cat, Space Cat, and Black Cat, but Black Cats were special edition.
Black Cat, right? I knew it was that one. But I heard he stopped production on that to ramp up the Red Cats and his new products that are coming out. So
I'm not surprised because seeing what Ascar's doing, and I know that there was some chat in our private about some other stuff coming from Ascar. I'm not going to be really surprised to see a lot of manufacturers going with quad or quints, just because you can see the performance enhancement and the benefit of those optics are going to come out at cheaper and cheaper prices because they're going to be able to mass produce them much easier, which is going to help drive the cost down, I hope. But also going to make it a lot easier for backyard guys like us that are, wanting to stay somewhat reasonable and out of the doghouse, but still be able to get a good product.
I can't recall, but I'm trying to remember. I could have sworn William Yang. He posted something on Facebook, or maybe it was on Instagram, about some of the new products that he's starting to showcase pretty soon. So I know he's got something going on in his skunk works that it's going to be pretty cool. But speaking of new scopes, I don't know if you guys saw the premiere of Astro Backyard.
Yeah, I saw it.
The Raptor.
Oh wait, no.
Raptor 60.
Yeah, the Radian.
The Radian,
Radian
right.
Raptor.
Yep. Radian triplet.
The Radian Raptor. Yep. Doesn't look too. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's definitely a wide field, and you can use it. You know, he was demoing it with his Sky Tracker and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that was a 61 millimeter front objective. I want to say it was a 280 millimeter focal length.
That's tiny.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's really tiny. It is going to give you a really wide field. It's going to be a lot of light gathering, of course, being with a 61, so it's slightly bigger than the Space Cats at 51. But you don't get quite the reach. Well, you get a little bit more reach than with the Space Cat, but you know, they didn't show pricing on any of that. I saw you could pre-order, but I didn't click on the pre-order link to see what his pricing was.
Right.
But I know Radian has some other stuff that's coming down the pipeline that's going to be neat to keep an eye on.
Because Radian is OPT, isn't it? Radian falls under OPT.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Hey, Tyler,
Radian's all.
Well, and
Tyler jumped on.
Yeah, Tyler just jumped on.
No,
What's
and I
up,
know
Tyler?
that I got a lot of the stuff from OPT. I have become a fan of the Radian plates when I received one from Mark for mounting up my Explore Scientific 102. Because I needed a little bit more of a universal plate because the Prima Luce plates were, for me it was just not, they weren't available in the time frame that I wanted. And because I was using the Prima Luce rings, they're a completely different spacing than almost every other ring out there.
It's ridiculous.
But I wanted the stability of the ring platform because they're the only one that has that thicker, better, more stable. I saw Radian's also coming out with a line of rings that's going to be similar but different. And I don't know how varied their product line is going to be. Right now it's primarily focused towards, I think it's the baselines around a couple of the ZWO QHY cameras and the new scope, of course. But the Radian Universal Plate has been great because it's got kind of an X pattern in it. So it makes
it's
it really
got the
easy
slant
to
and hole.
Yep. And it mounted up real nice.
Was that?
It mounted up real nice. I've been happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, I bought one just to see it because, actually, Eric turned me on to them. And I sat there and I looked at it. I'm like, wow, who's the idiot that didn't think about these slanted holes to begin with? Because, I mean, so many things don't fit just right.
Right.
Like you were saying with the Prima Luce, it's like ridiculous because it's like they only are made with their plus dovetails. So, they have the holes in certain spots.
Which works great if you're staying all with that platform, but so many of us end up using platforms rapidly and often, more so based on what the availability is. And I know that Tom is making availability better here in the U.S., which we haven't had, and then that's slowly coming online, but it's getting there. But
it's getting there.
We all know that the supply chain is just choked right now because of everything going on. So.
Yep.
Doesn't really
I'm hoping that
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just hoping that things get a little bit better, and they are getting better. But it's just a matter of time. I'm not sure what the holdup is in China these days because all the information coming out of there, things are doing a lot better over there. But I mean, we'll just have to see. We don't know.
Well, and time will tell, and I don't know that it's completely China's fault, because it's not just the shipping, it's the actual manufacturing, because they've been offline for 6 months or better.
Yeah.
So, and the glass manufacturing, I know, has suffered immensely because so much of that is done there in the Chinese coast. Most of them haven't gone back to work yet. From what I understand, it's kind of coming back online, but it's going to take months for that to get caught up, because they're not at full capacity, just like us here in the U.S. We're not operating at full capacity, just trying to be somewhat precautious and responsible.
Yep, that's it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, exactly.
Hopefully. Jeez. I am so burnt out, man. I don't even.
I don't know if I know you guys saw the pictures of Simon Lewis. He in his new toy.
Which one?
Yeah.
The 94 mono.
Oh yeah, the MM.
Yeah.
I had some choice words for Simon.
Yeah.
But out of it, he did promise to shoot out between it and the 1600, so we could see how much better the 294 is.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So he'll be working diligently on that between freezing his
I know he will
in
be.
the winter.
Oh yeah, freezing his butt off. Actually, isn't he hot in the winter and cold in the summer?
Well, our summers and winters, yes, but he's in fall, so he's just coming into spring now.
Yeah, he's coming into spring, right? Yeah, we're going into winter, so.
Yep. So he's just coming out of subarctic temps, and starting to come into hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Bipolar Mother
Dreadful.
Nature.
Yep. Yeah. Well. Man, we're kind of we're quiet tonight.
Yeah. Right.
One of those days.
Yeah.
Just been one of those days.
That's fine on me. I got to get up early tomorrow morning too.
Yeah, because unfortunately, I may not be on with you guys for the next 2 weeks, possibly. We got a big rollout at work, so I've got to be working some nights. So
hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. That's it. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, and I gotta suck it up, and wake up earlier and go to sleep a little later than I expect, So, but it's all good. It's only for a couple weeks, so it's all good.
Well, I can't be the only one taking time off. I'm lucky I'm on vacation this week, so it's a little bit easier. Today was our lazy day to recover, so.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, so
what do you guys
hoping... Say again?
Go ahead, Eric.
No, I was just saying, so I'm hoping I'll be able to squeeze some time in, even though I'm going to be working at night. Hopefully I'll be able to, and just depends on the weather too. Maybe I'll be able to squeeze in, on Tuesday, or maybe even a little bit, or maybe this weekend I'll be able to squeeze in Mars,
There you go.
Just take the scope to work.
No kidding.
I mean, it's not like you got to monitor it the whole time. It's going to be on a ZWO ASI Air. Just let that thing rip. Put it out.
There you go.
Go up, put it on the roof with security.
Yeah.
Mount it up there.
Yeah.
Get some power ran to it. It'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You're totally fine.
You know what I just noticed? I got diffraction spikes.
Uh-oh.
I got spider spikes. I haven't seen those in years.
Let's see. So what do you guys got planned? What are you guys going to... I'll be really curious what you guys got. I know you're not able to do anything right now, basically, because you're working, but
I'm grounded until the 20th of October.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm back-to-back shows, so like I was saying offline before we started the show, I'm finishing my vacation here with my folks on Saturday. I fly my wife and daughter back to Phoenix, drop them off, turn tail, run back here, do a 4-day run Monday through Thursday, fly home Thursday night, and then Saturday morning I have to fly to Tulsa for a 9-day run.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm tied up through that on the 19th, so I won't be able to image anything until the 20th.
Gotcha.
Mark Ellis wants to know, is it time for a sci-fi rant?
No, but you know what? If you guys want to, I'm listening to my next series of books on Audible.
Okay, what's that?
I just wrapped up. It's a longer series of, I believe it's 6 or 7 books. I've just finished up book 4 of, it's a series called Helldivers.
Huh, okay, never heard of it.
And it's a really cool series. It is basically post-apocalyptic, and it's about, just the survival, after a total wipeout of the entire planet through nuclear war. The survivors are basically surviving off of out of airships, and they have to, and you have these guys who actually jump out of the airship. They call them Helldivers, to go down to the surface to try to find resources and try to bring them back up, to keep the airship going. So that's a really cool series, the Helldiver series. But I'm actually just started. I took a break from that, and I'm listening to the Bobaverse setup. It's We Are Bob, or We Are Legion. We Are Bob.
Legion. That's what it is.
We Are Legion. Yeah. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. It's been out for a while. Basically, but this guy by the name of Bob, he decides he's like an engineer. He's rich, a software engineer, and all this stuff. He decides to sign up to have his body and everything frozen, in case he dies, and to have it unfrozen in his consciousness and everything, sent up to another body. And it doesn't turn out that way. And there's other things that end up happening. But he gets into this crazy adventure. And, he ends up way, way in the future.
Right.
But
it's kind of like
it's a pretty darn funny series. So so We Are Legion, and Princess, We Are Bob.
All right. I'll have to check it out. Mark said those are awesome. Soylent Green. George, you're bringing it back. You're talking about Soylent Green. Oh, God, we're showing our age. but let me tell you, if you're not into the sci-fi thing and you're more into the fantasy thing, and I don't know, I might have brought this up in a prior show. I'm not sure. But if you want a really, really, really good fantasy thing, like I guess kind of like a supernatural thing where you got vampires and you got demons and all that kind of stuff going on, and you want a really cool, like 1980s humor motif, read the Dresden Files.
Yes. The latest book just came out, and I have it.
Came out?
Yes, it's on release.
Peace Talks came out?
Battleground. No, Peace Talks has been out for like 3 months. Battleground is out now.
What battle? What, I missed 2?
Yes, there's 2.
No.
Yes, I'm dead serious.
Okay.
There are.
Peace Talks, Dresden Files. Oh, Battleground. What the hell?
Peace Talks has been out now for about maybe 3 months. And
it hasn't got the audiobook, so.
Just came out. Battleground just came out this past. It came out Tuesday. Yeah, it came out yesterday or the day before, which is like it's basically part 2 of Peace Talks. and I haven't even listened to it yet. But yeah, Dresden Files. If you like that type of stuff, you like the fantasy, vampires, wizards, fairies, all that stuff. Cops,
it's
bad guys,
it's really good. It's, yeah, oh, you got total mobsters. It's great. It's like it's incredible. I mean, yeah, it's like a 21st century wizard solving crimes, and it turns out to be
in Chicago.
You know, in Chicago. Well, he's all over the place, and the characters that he makes up. Jim Butcher is just awesome. I mean, his writing is great. But now I'm gonna have to get it. I've been waiting for it. I've read the first 15 books, I think it is, or 16 books. Yep. And, I've been waiting for this because a lot of things happened in this guy's personal life where he stopped writing for a while. And I guess he came out with 2 books now, back to back.
Because basically Peace Talks, it got so big that his editor asked him, "Hey, can we make this into can we split this up into 2 books?" So, and that's when he got back, so now that's when you had Battlegrounds. But yeah, Peace Talks is supposed to be this.
Black and Denarius is back.
Huh?
The Black and Denarius is back.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there are, and if you have Audible, James Marsters narrates the Dresden Files. He was the guy who played, if you're familiar with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he was the guy like an Angel in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He's really good. He is really talented, and he picked the perfect voice, for Harry Dresden.
Yeah, actually, I got his autograph at a convention, and I had him sign. I bought Stormfront, which is the first book in hardcover.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I bought it, and I made him sign the cover. So, but somebody was talking about.
Anyone work with the Pegasus Astro Falcon rotator? No, I haven't. I have William Optics manual rotator, so I can't. I personally haven't used it.
I haven't used it either.
Mac, you don't need to collimate. If you have to collimate a Mac, you need to send it back to the manufacturer.
Forever. So somebody was talking about Supernatural. I guess Tarek. And I guess I had to pull this out. So here you go, Tarek. That's for you.
Oh, nice. That's pretty freaking awesome.
There you go.
That is pretty freaking awesome.
That's awesome. And then the best one was, let's see if I have it here. Where is it? No way, it's not in here. All right, here we go. This is the best one.
Is that Negan?
Now, if you're walking, that's Negan.
Oh gosh, yes.
So that was actually at the Supernatural convention. And for those of you guys who don't know that, Negan from Walking Dead played Mr. Winchester, which is Sam and Dean's dad. That's him a lot younger. And I met him there, and a lot of people were at the Supernatural convention asking him to do Negan instead of John Winchester. And so I brought my nephew, and we brought a bat, and we set it up like that. So
that's awesome. That is absolutely awesome.
That's a lot of fun. I got all these stupid pictures.
Dude, why don't you have those things framed?
I gotta get them framed. You want here you go. I gotta get this one framed. Hold on a second. But I got a whole bunch of them. I gotta get them framed because they're all in. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but
he looks familiar.
See if you know who that is. Well, we'll save that one for later. See if anyone knows who that is. Oh, no, on the YouTube page.
There's trivia.
Let's see, 17. There's trivia for you. So So I'll send somebody a painted D&D mini if somebody knows who that is. Let's see. I got more here. I just haven't. There you go. The best one. This is my prize possession right here.
Shatner. Oh, shut up! I hate you.
That's my prize possession right there. That's my prize possession right there, man. I got the captain, and I also have. Where is it? Is it in this one? Yeah, it's in this one. This one. So it was the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. And I went to the convention. And I got the signature. Okay. And then they allowed you to get 2 signatures. So I actually had this. I collect Star Trek stuff. So I actually had this. This is from February 1984. Wow. And I had him sign. I had him autograph it. And he actually went up to me and he actually spoke to me and said, "Where the hell did you get that?" I said, "Well, I've been holding it for 35 years. How about that? I've been waiting for you to sign." He's like, that is completely awesome. That's what he said. He said, "That is completely awesome." And I was like, that is awesome. That was pretty cool.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. So now that we're never going to do conventions again.
Those are all fake. Those are photoshopped.
Yeah. All right, Vic. Oh, of course, Sean Nielsen's got to throw it up there and get it. All right, Sean, you get a painted D&D mini. That's going to be for you. Send me your address, and we'll give you the little orc that I painted myself. There you go. That's for you. Sean's got it. It was John Delancey played Q in The Next Generation. And
hey, Sean, how are you, man?
Anyway, that's my pictures. That's some of my pictures that I have.
Nice.
Because we don't have much to talk about tonight because we're all doing imaging, so we're kind of just hanging out and playing around.
Some are doing imaging. I was doing collimation, which was pretty cool. It's cool. You got to learn, man. Especially if you have these Cassegrain style, telescopes. Get used to collimating and Newtonians and reflectors. It's one of the things you got to do.
Tarek said we're moving from AstroWorld TV to Hollywood Stars TV. It's funny.
That's the next show.
Yeah,
we're going to start doing that on Saturday nights.
Yeah,
there you go. So Sean, just text me your address. I'll send it right to you. That's for you. Merry Christmas. Oh man, let me see. Let's take a look and see what we got. You know what? I want to see what we got, and just for giggles, let's see if we could do a little quick. Let's see if it'll let me do it. A little quick folder live stack on the dumbbell. Let's
we never
see.
did get to the Fultz mono that we were going to make Eric do on live.
Yeah.
Make you do one live.
Yeah, we were going to make you do it live.
Oh, but you know what? One thing, speaking of false mono and one-shot color, one thing that I have realized for anyone who has a fast system like the Rasa or Hyperstar and have the LX Stream, I would love to hear how they are getting along with it. Myself, I love the filter, but I do have some problems with it. noticing that if I do short exposures, I don't get a lot of red. I get a lot of other, I get more oxygen or more green, it seems, but I don't get a lot of red. And it turned out that because I noticed when I did the Lion Nebula, that was 600. Okay. That was 600 seconds, and I finally got and the red finally came through. That's when I was doing the Lion, and with a Rasa, are you really supposed to be doing 10-minute exposures? I
don't think so.
You're not really supposed to be. I mean, that's the whole point. But I did notice that. And I don't know if it's shifting or anything like that, or what's up. But look, like anything less than probably a 5-minute exposure, I didn't get as much HA or red out of it as I would the 03. So just I'm curious to hear what how others can, fared and stuff like that. Let me see here. It's 294, 533. 533 sold. And open. And let me go up here. And now I was just pulling up something, because we were talking about the one-shot color stuff. So I was actually pulling this up here. So let me go ahead and do that for you guys. Let's get it fired up here before I share my screen. Okay. All right.
So Eric, Tarek was just saying he's been seeing the opposite by people, more HA or red than the 03 or green-blue results.
Interesting. That is really interesting.
Now, Tarek, is that looking at
that with high-speed
planetary,
system?
Or is that deep space, galactic? Maybe time for you to get an extreme filter then. That's what he's shooting with, Tarek.
That's what I'm actually shooting at. I'm using the L extreme. That's what I was saying. I was, with this high speed, it was really just weird.
Yeah, but that is pretty weird because I haven't done a ton with it other than my initial stuff with the Witch's Broom and the Veil Nebulas, but I just haven't had time to play in close to 4 weeks now.
Gotcha.
Which is killing me. Dan, when you get into the shop, you're going to have to give me an update on what's going on with my order.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll do it tomorrow.
That's fine. I know I got your hands full.
Let's delete that, delete that.
Oh, 3.
Probably put the three up with all of us with our mouths hanging open, not talking.
I'm just trying to think about. There we go. It's moving a little slow. I don't know why.
Shark Boy sleepwalking again. There was an earlier. The Shark Boy was sleepwalking again.
Oh, that kid.
And I don't know if Eric caught it, but earlier on somebody was asking, is the skeleton in the background there somebody waiting for clouds to break?
Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see if I can clean this up a little bit.
There's Shark Boy with the head on a plate. Is that a sacrifice?
Yeah, it's our headless sacrifice. You know? Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah,
you got to turn.
There you go. Yeah, I'll share this with you guys real quick.
It's like a.
Take it out.
Oh, geez. What happened?
Funny. Let's see.
It's still moving a little slow. But there's some of it.
Let's see here.
Are you doing that on the Eagle again, or did you bring it over to your desktop?
No, this is on the desktop. I'm not sure
Okay.
why it's moving so slow. And it's skipping a lot of frames, too. I'm not sure why. But that's not bad. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll do some flats later and go to bed.
Okay, let's see here.
Is it still rendering stuff there, Dan? It's on 33 of
What do you mean?
69. Oh, I'm just looking at the status.
I say I stopped it. I stopped
Okay.
it. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's moving too slow and it's dropping a lot. I'm not sure. Maybe because it's. I have no idea why. It shouldn't be doing that, but I only got about 12 more shots left, about 24 minutes left, and then I'll do my flats, and then I'll do some darks over the weekend, I guess, because I don't have any darks for this camera. And what do we got going on? It's a good day. Thanks, Tarek. Appreciate it. And dead waiting for clear skies. Another dead one waiting. Skip is on. I have the first clear skies we've had in months. It's horrible. But we'll see. But guys, I'm falling asleep here.
Waiting to see what Eric's going to pull out over here. And then,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We just take a look here.
I didn't bring the camera back over. That's why.
so while they're doing that, George, I can kind of address your question there about the 2600 Pro. I do take flats. I'm using flats, darks, and bias frames for all my calibrations. That's just been my SOP. So I've done it with my 533 as well as the 2600. I haven't done it without, so I haven't seen any difference. But for me, my results have been good. If I minimize the stuff here on my other screen, I can pop that on for you. You know, this is stuff that I shot almost a month ago now, but this was the Eastern Western Veil Nebulas. That's my desktop on my laptop here. And, that's doing darks, flats, bias, dark flats, and that is 10-minute exposures. Should be 30 of them, stacked in APP and edited in PI with the L Extreme on the 2600.
Nice.
So I've been real happy with it. So for me, it's been a good purchase, and it's been stable. So I've been pretty happy with what I've been able to get out of it. So hopefully that helps answer a little bit of your question there.
That's awesome.
So, okay. So 2, 3. Oh, sorry. That channel.
Yeah, Skip says dark flats and bias. I didn't realize you need to do both. I believe a lot of people that are doing dark flats have dropped the bias. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not a big CMOS user.
I've only been doing it just because I couldn't really find a clear answer of whether or not to do it.
Right.
So for me, it doesn't hurt anything. All it's going to do is clean up noise and take out the dust spots and stuff like that. So I didn't see the harm in doing it. It didn't cost me really much time because I already have a bias catalog. I already have darks catalog. I update every 6 months anyways, and only my 533 is older than 6 months for my uses. So as for ADU, I'm usually targeting the median at about 26 to 27,000 ADU. It's just kind of where I've been talked into by Simon Lewis. Everybody kind of has
40% histogram.
Yeah, so I usually try to be a little bit to the left of center, keeping it below that 28,000 number. Because for most of us, 32,000 is kind of the median based on 65. So I've not gotten bad results. I've been happy with the way it's turned out. The problem for me, because I'm using a Pegasus Astro Flats Master or Flats panel, I have to do really long exposures. So with doing the L Extreme and the 2600, I was doing 120-second flats. So they're very long. So it takes a little bit of time to get that pulled together. But if I were to get something more along the spike of flat like what Eric has, I'm sure I'd be able to get those times down. Or if I switched over to using an iPad and a white background or a white generated light, I'd be able to get those down by almost half by increasing the light going through it. But
Sean just said that if you're doing dark flats, you really don't need to do bias.
No. Well, you can if you do bias. It depends, because in that way you can scale. You can scale your masters.
Okay.
If you do bias, you can scale your masters, your master darks. Doing that, and your master flats and your master dark flats.
Well,
it just if you do bias, so you can do that. Sorry guys, he's killing me.
No, so
when I look at many images, I just see people do standard dark bias and flat. AD for many cam usually aim from 25 to 30,000. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I usually try to be at the little bit lower end of that per my conversations with Simon Lewis, who spent a lot of time on the ZWO cameras. So I'm trusting his judgment on that, and I've not seen bad results. So I haven't adjusted since I had Simon kind of talk me through it of what the expectation should be. And I've just been in the habit, shoot it and use it because it's not going to hurt it. So that's why I've been using flats, darks, and bias. But my bias, once I run it, I just do the master bias because I typically shoot at the same gain. and
Right.
cooling. So I just reuse the bias from the master once it's been created in the first image.
Gotcha.
If you want me to do a real quick one-shot color, false color, I can if you guys want me to.
Yeah,
I know we're getting
and if Dan needs to fall off, Dan can fall off, and we can finish out quick, or we can push it to another week.
Yeah. But here, if I just share my screen here.
Yep, go for it.
Yep. Okay. So let me head over. When I do my integrations, I'm doing them within AstroPixel processor, and I'll be bringing up. So what I do is I take 3 separate integrations. So I will go to my pattern. You can choose certain. That's based off of your camera. So for a ZWO is RGGB, and then I choose my algorithm. And you have different algorithms. What you'd want to choose is you would want to choose these 3 separate algorithms: HA03 mono, extract HA, and extract O3. Okay, and then don't forget to force your Bayer matrix and turn that on. And then you would do your first integration. Okay, do that first one, be it mono, extract HA, or extract O3. You do that one first. Then you would have to then go and normalize your lights again, because every time you change an algorithm, you have to normalize. It'll tell you have to normalize your lights again. So you would keep your integrations and everything, still setups the same. You would just then redo your integration, and it would kick off and do another. It would normalize those lights again for the new algorithm that you're doing. And you would do that basically 3 times. So because what you'd want to do is you would want to have that HA, that O3, and the mono. And those are the 3 images or FITS files that you're going to use when you combine for your RGB. So you would go, so when you have those 3 integrations done, those 3 FIT files, you would go to Tools, and you would go to the setting Combine RGB. And then you would add your channels. Those are those 3 FIT files. So I'm going to go here, and I've got H alpha, I've got luminance, and O3. So I'll go ahead and open those up. And it'll ask me H alpha. So, okay. Then for my luminance, that is actually your sulfur. Okay. And then your O3, you would set to oxygen 3. Okay. Now that you have those 3 there, you would do your first calculation. So you would recalculate, and you would see your initial setup, and you would see your initial RGB combined. And this is when you would start working with your different colors, your different bands. What I did for the Eagle Nebula here is I actually reduced. I didn't put in as much green, so I reduced my green. I think I moved it down to maybe about 9 or 10. I did increase the red a bit, but then I increased also the intensity. I think I actually did around 4. A lot of this is going off of memory. So, and then my sulfur, I kind of left a lot of it alone, but I did drop everything, the green and the blue, and kept that at 100 for the red. The intensity, I believe I kept it the same. And for my oxygen, this is the one I really cranked up. So I boosted the oxygen to the intensity up to 10. I did drop my red kept my blue. I did move my green up a little bit, and I might have moved up my luminosity. Let me take a look. See here. Okay, so 16. So I moved that up to about 16. And I moved up my luminosity band here to about 35. And a lot of it is trial and error. And then I recalculated. And as you can see, you start getting your colors. And I believe I actually switched this, my normalize, to add. And it gives me a bit more green. So, and then I just began to work this out a lot. Move up my red a little bit and began to just really work these colors. And as I see, I'm starting to get a little bit more of a change here. I'm going to drop the blue. I don't know why I have that blue there. And boost up the green. Recalculate. And as you can see, it starts to change. You're starting to see the false color. You're starting to see more of the green, of the gold in the pillars of creation. One thing is that when you're doing false color and you're doing narrow band and with APP, you can't use the star calibration. So just know that. So you're going to have to zero out or find, sometimes what I've done, I use star tools and I've used Pix Insight and I've used mask to get rid of, done star mask and then gotten rid of the green out of the stars. But a lot of it's a lot of just trial and error until you get the taste that you want. So for this, let me put this here. So, okay, 22, 8, 9, and 18. Oh, so I did put a little bit of blue in there. So let me just drop this down to 22. Let's just take a look here really quick. Nope. And then you just keep working it. So for 03, green was 10 and 100 for blue. Green was 10. This is sometimes why you want to keep good, you want to keep notes for a lot of this stuff so if you ever have to reference it again. Eight, 9, 18. Now I'm starting to lighten up a little bit more. And I have that there. I'm going to add just a little bit of punch to the red. There we go. So a lot of it, like I said, is trial and error and working with your sliders, your intensity sliders, to get where you want it, and then also you boost up the saturation. And this, and as you can see, it starts to get a little better here. And it's also just watching, and also watching your histogram to see where, you're getting more of a certain color to try to back that off. but you guys are getting the idea.
Yeah, so the histogram's showing that you're getting a lot of blues, so backing off the blues.
Yep.
And you're,
so I'm backing off the blues.
03, correct?
Yep. So it's 03. And I'm actually going to back off here a little bit on blue.
That should help kind of bring it back in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's starting
to get the golds in. Yep.
Yeah, so you're starting to get the golds in.
And that's where reading your histograms really going to come into play. And those that have spent a lot of time in Photoshop will learn trying to get as much in this version of histogram, getting as much of that gray so that it kind of all overlaps. That's basically where all of the three colors are overlapping, which is giving you good, solid signal. So the goal is to not see any one color definably outside of the curve. So that'll help kind of guide you in of what you're needing to do and the things that you're going to need to take and paint out or work to remove to get a good, solid curve. So being able to use that histogram to your advantage and learning how to read it will make you a much better processor in the end.
No. Red here. See, there you go. So, I mean, now I'm going to back off a little bit. It's too much.
But the nice thing is you're seeing the corrections. You're seeing a little bit of green coming out there in the darks. So it can really work. So if you haven't read a histogram before, the left is your dark and the right is your lights. So it's going to help you kind of figure out how to fine-tune that to be able to take and get a better curve. And you're going to want it to be as close to bell shape as possible. This is a good bell shape. You're losing a lot of data because he's pegged at the sides, but that's going to be inherent in most Astro because you're dealing with such extremes. But this is a good histogram for doing Astro.
So, like I said, so a lot of it is just time and trial and error. Because once you get, because as you can see, more of the gold is starting to come out now. And actually, you start to see, as a matter of fact, also you're seeing these stars are starting to lighten up a little bit more.
Yep,
it's going to be so you don't have to fight that much. When you take it out of APP and you move into Photoshop, or if you move into PI and you do a star mask, or if you're doing an SCNR in photo and
PI
and PixInsight, to remove some of that green and stuff like that when you're doing your star mask. So a lot of it is just basically, like I said, a lot of trial and a lot of time. And every picture, every image is going to be different. You can't rely on the same formula and the same calculations for every image because every image is different.
Yep. And it's good to have the notes when you're working on re-imaging the same space or same body to kind of give you a benchmark. But again, that's where reading your histogram as it comes in is really going to help you define how you're going to make those adjustments. And it'll make you quicker as you learn to read and understand what the histogram's telling you.
Yep.
Yeah. And right now, I'm not going to go really that much further into this, but this will give you a good idea. Because this is also my PC that I'm chatting on. It's also the PC that I work on, so it takes up a lot of resources. So then the connection starts to get, that I'm chatting with you guys on, starts to get a little crazy.
Yeah.
But you're starting to see how these are changing, and it's just even Sean can even attest I'm not sure if he's still on or not, but
yeah, he might be.
Because he has a great tutorial for PixInsight, which does something very similar, and so you can also check that out as well. But you get the idea. This is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy, doing that a lot. It's just playing around with this, you know, this is the art of it. You know, this is the artist coming out, and
Well,
you know, just being creative.
And doing this false mono, also that's kind of the joy of doing mono, is really being able to be more creative, because you're not necessarily supposed to go, or not trying to achieve realistic. You're trying to find the thing that's
Right.
most visually appealing. So that's one of the nice things of being able to get more into that Hubble palette, which is more of what you went towards in your final product. So it really makes that shine.
Yeah, and so it's you know, they say you know that with these color cameras, they're getting much better. You know, so the sensitivity, you know, you're not going to get like a mono that sensitivity what you would get with a mono, but for me, and I know for you, Jason, you know, we're one-shot color guys more often than not. So to be able to do something like this, because you know, and to grab the data in one night, you know, or maybe 1 to 2 nights at the most, and then be able to do something like this, that's, you know, and to be able to process this is what, it's just fun.
Well, it's a good thing too. Like when you get a long streak of cloudy nights, it gives you something to kind of play with, and you know, take something that you got a good OSC image on and split it into the bands and play with it.
Bands and play with it.
It's the way you're going to learn the software better, but it's also going to give you a little bit of a creative outlet. And I know that's you know, for most of us, that's why we get into this. It's trying to find an outlet to get out of our daily lives and find something to just kind of escape for a little bit. And so if weather's not going to cooperate, it's a really good way to kind of clear your head and find a new way to learn and track and master a new technique. So it's something I'm going to play with a little bit more while I'm on the road, now that I've got a more powerful PC, being able to utilize that a little bit more heavily.
Yeah.
And if you're a PI user, a Pix Insight user, this will get you really into the start of, if you're really new, get you into the start of pixel math. You know, learning some of the basics of pixel math, because when you separate those channels, you have to bring them back together, and you're using pixel math to do that. Sean, you know, he has a great video on how to do it. And I watch a lot of his videos all the time, because I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning Pix Insight. So I rely on a lot of his videos a lot. But this is the base, you know, but if you're using APP, this is, you know, using the RGB combined and using the mono as the sulfur, your sulfur 2. This is the method that myself and Mike Shapiro, this is what we were working on. So hopefully it gives everybody a good idea.
Well, thanks for doing that nice little quick tutorial. I know we kind of threw that on you, little late.
And to plug stuff that most of you guys are already probably aware of, but you know, he's already posted the video up to our YouTube channel. So if you wanted to look at more in depth of how he walked through it live, you know, the video is there for your viewing pleasure. So you know, if you want to deep dive more into it, or you want more info, don't hesitate to just reach out to us. Let us know, so we can feature that a little bit more heavily if it's either a dedicated video or doing more stuff on the show.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I believe it. I just put up recently put my photo up of the Pelican Nebula video. It's I tried to make it a little bit more funnier than normal. I added a whole bunch of failures on there to show it.
Your fails. Your fail and the mosquitoes.
It's still there, man. I'm telling you, it's been like a month. But
is it a mosquito or a hummingbird?
I don't know, man. I got pummeled by it. Was just like literally like kamikaze flights right into my arms, legs, everywhere. But yeah. So I did a collaboration with processing with Ron Breacher, and you know, the end result is on there. So. But other than that, I mean, it's a really, really, really cool thing, you know, doing a narrow band, especially in light polluted areas like like many of us, except for Jason, live in.
Yeah. Hey, I'm suffering the same plight you guys are. I'm in Michigan right now. It's been raining for 2 days, and all my gear's sitting back in Arizona collecting dust because it hasn't been used in a month.
Sean.
Time this week, so.
This is when you need to get an observatory and start setting things up, and then on your Wi-Fi or on your network, so you can do you can actually open up your observatory, and then you can start imaging and doing remote imaging and focusing.
The problem I've got is with the Ioptron CEM40. No matter how many times I've gone out there and made adjustments, every single night I have to adjust all 3 of my knobs. Because there is no true home position. Even when you tell it to go home, it's not. It doesn't zero like the 120, and I understand the 70 well. So it doesn't do a rehoming where it's got fixed positions that it lands back at, and that's probably the biggest gripe I have about it, because I'm used to having that from my AVX. If it's reference lines, it doesn't have that. And as many times as I've said, I just need to go out there with a little etching pen and make my own. I don't want to do it and then find out it's horribly off, and then now it's etched into my hardware. So I just kind of deal with it. They're not huge adjustments. Most nights I can get it in about a minute and a half, sitting there tweaking. Most of it is left to right, a little bit of height or altitude adjustment. But that's the unfortunate thing. I can't do it remotely like I would be able to if it was more permanent installation, because it is sitting on a tri-pier, but I don't move the tri-pier. If I take anything off, I take the scope off. But just moving it to go check focus and then move it back to do polar alignment is just enough that it's usually out that I have to make adjustments to get it to dial in.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Let's see.
Phil Starr. Maybe eventually we'll all, retire to really cool places, and Carolina, for Dan, North New Mexico for me, and then we can, get observatories and all that other cool crap.
That would be nice.
I'm gonna go live on a dormant island out in Hawaii.
There you go.
See,
go to Hawaii.
Year round, same temperatures. You live on a dormant volcano, and nobody will bother you, and it blows up. It blows up.
Dude,
all right, guys. On that note, I mean, I got one more shot left, and I'm going to do some flats and go to bed, because I've been up for now 17, 18 hours. But
or what I call an average workday.
Yeah, well, that is not an average work day for me. I guess I'm a wuss. But I'm just burnt out tonight, guys, and I do apologize.
It's all
but if you guys want to stay on, you're more than welcome to stay on. But I don't know. I guess we're gonna go to bed.
It's about that time. Yeah.
It's getting late here. And...
I'm telling you.
I was gonna adjust to Arizona time, but there's no point because I'm still back here for another week yet.
Right.
So.
No, that's right.
But I've been kicking my family's butt doing a little vacation stuff. So we did a lot yesterday. We went to an apple orchard and then went up to a lighthouse up in Port Huron, watched some freighters come down the St. Clair River on their way up and around Michigan to do some deliveries over in the Chicagoland area. And then made our way back to a favorite sub shop. And so we did about 3 miles of walking yesterday, some other sightseeing earlier in the week. So packing a lot in a few days.
There you go.
I hear you.
You do it.
It's nice getting some family time in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, guys. Well, I mean, we got quite a bit done today in this, tonight on the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got coming up with some real topics, though.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
You guys got to
really
stop
cool.
imaging 6 nights a week so we can start planning.
I know.
But hey, it's getting closer. We getting longer nights, man. So I don't know.
Yeah, I can start at 5 o'clock, man.
Well,
we who knows?
and so a few of our viewers might have realized that we're actually streaming to 2 different places tonight. We were doing a quick
Oh, is it
test,
working?
and it's working. It's been on Facebook's solid all the way through. So we're streaming directly to the
nice.
AstroWorld TV Facebook page and live
Oh,
to our
okay,
YouTube
good.
channel. So
Very good.
we'll see if it closes out and saves everything appropriately, and that I've got things landing right. But we're working on some new software here from a control side and standpoint. Still working through a few technical bugs on my end, but I hope you
That's
guys
okay.
are liking
And,
the way
you know,
things are coming together. So
and the website is coming up. All it needs is some more content, and hopefully by the middle of next month we'll be live with the website. So that's gonna be real exciting. So
Yeah, I've got to send you my stuff. I keep forgetting.
I finally got mine to him this week. So
I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah.
I just got to get some images with my gear.
There you go.
Yeah, throw in some images and if you want do as personal as you want, you want to throw the family in there, it's more than fine. But whatever you want to do, it's all up to you. That's your part.
You got to get Shark Boy in there.
Sure. All right, guys.
What was that?
Well, it's been I'll get Shark Boy out here with me.
Oh, please.
Oh, it's
All right, well, I
been a
just
great-
downloaded Peace Talks, so
Yeah, download Peace Talks. It's really good. It's pretty good, and then you got Battleground. So
I just downloaded. I just bought both of them. I had 9 credits, so
you've been hoarding credits for a while, huh?
yeah. There's always so many times I could read the Dune books over again. So
Right. Well, again,
All
guys.
right, guys.
This was great. So
awesome
have a
night.
great night, everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take my flats. And have a good night, guys. Enjoy. Take it easy.
All right. Yeah, I got to go get my SDC out of here. I'll see you guys later.
All right.